haven't posted anything to this channel for a while. And the reason is very personal. And this channel in the past hasn't been very personal. It's a freediving channel. And I posted freediving clips because I'm a freediving photographer and a freediving cameraman. And I think like the most personal things I did here were reviews of videos. So that's not really personal at all. But I'm thinking maybe that has to change. Something has to change. Because something has changed.
That's Beans' new koala bear. Every time I try and get it. Is it your koala bear, Beanie? I want the koala bear. Should I get it?
Oh. 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 When I started this channel, I did do some personal things. I had, clips of me swimming. And then when I got my dog Beans in 2013, I posted some videos of her because she was the funniest thing in the world and she was just lovely. But then around, I'd say 2015, I started thinking of myself more as a professional cameraman. And so I thought like I'll just put professional, so to speak, freediving clips here and videos that I've made about other people, so nothing personal. And in 2017, I started thinking like, okay, I want to do one a month. That seemed to be a pace that I could walk at, a pace that I could produce at, like one a month, every month, 12 a year. So since 2017, I've been doing that. I've been making one freediving video every month. And nothing personal, it's always other people. And it's not that I mind speaking to camera. I don't enjoy it particularly, but I don't mind it. It's just that I had better things to do. I had better subjects to photograph and to film. Like, if you have to choose between filming yourself and filming Stieg, you're going to film Stieg. If you have Sophia in front of your lens, you're going to film Sophia. If you have Anna van Buttiger, you're going to film Anna. So, of course, that lend itself better to like it not being about me. And every once in a while I got like friends asking me like, hey, those videos are good and everything, but like I wanna they said they didn't quite connect with it. You know what I mean? It's like you watch the movie and then it's 3 minutes or it's 4 minutes and then it's done and it's cool and it's pretty, but like now what? What's the follow-up here? And I never knew because I had not much more intention with it other than showing the beauty of freediving. It's just like, hey, watch this. Hey, look this, look, it's cool. And I never really thought about, what the next move of the audience should be. Watch the next video, or I never thought about it in terms of like, now buy this, or like now subscribe here, or like that always felt a bit alien to me. And I guess I was uncomfortable with asking attention for myself or sharing. Like, I don't even like that word, sharing. So to me, it was always like, let the work speak for itself. That seemed to be the thing, like, let the work speak for itself. I don't have to And maybe that was an excuse, and maybe that was a bit of a cop out. Maybe it's something I feared because I don't know. You know, it's easier to hide behind the work. But it's kind of led to this thing where like people meet me and they don't really know who I am or they don't recognize me. And then after a while they talk to me and they go like, "You're that Dan. You know, you're the guy who made that movie, or you're the guy who made that photo, or you're the guy who you're that guy, that Dan." It's like, yeah, that Dan. But in the beginning, like when I started doing a video a month, it was fine because it was successful. Like I didn't need to get in front of cameras and do this kind of awkward thing of like looking into the lens and thinking up what you want to say, because the videos were successful. They were doing really well. Like I don't know what my averages were, but like it was 100,000 or something insane per video. There were like more than 10 videos that went over 1 million views. So like it was working, so I figured like why change that? But then somewhere in 2020, maybe 2021, all of a sudden my videos, the view count plummeted. It it just decimated. Like it went from sometimes millions to a few thousand. And lately I've had videos that don't even break the thousand, like a couple of hundred. And that got me thinking like, I guess I'm doing something wrong. But I like my own videos. I liked what I was making still. So I just kept on making them. I was like, oh, well, like I don't want to, this is going to sound weird, but I don't want to cater to a market that I don't feel like I need to do that. Like I don't think I can make a viral video. I've had viral videos, but I didn't go in there going like, I'm going to make a viral video here. It's like I had an idea and I executed that idea, and then the video did really well for God knows what reason. But the last one I've had that went viral, that went over 1 million, is 5 years ago. So obviously something has changed. And instead of stubbornly doing the same thing, I've been trying to think like, what can I do that's me, but that's also that works? Because obviously this is not working. And then because YouTube used to be a major source of my income. If you get 1 million hits on your YouTube video, that's $1,000 at least. So if you have a couple of those, and it was a good steady income stream. But ever since 2021, that income stream completely dropped. Luckily, I'm not solely reliant on YouTube for my income. Like I also sell my photography, and for some reason, as YouTube dropped, the photography sales went up. So it compensated each other. I still had my photography business, and I still had competitions. I take photos of everyone, and more people were buying it. So I thought that was an interesting trend. I think I'm not sure. Like I think the level of my photography has slowly gotten better and better, but not so much that like the sales should also represent that. So that was a separate trend that I didn't cause. And then this year, something started happening. Actually, it was last year. A Vertical Blue 2025, much smaller edition, because strange things are happening in freediving as well. So it was a small Vertical Blue, and I was there photographing the event, and I got a call from my wife that our dog Beans had had a bleed. And up to that point, like, she's 12 years old at that point, she's been perfectly healthy. Like, there's never been any scares, never been any worries about her. She's a happy, energetic, healthy dog. And all of a sudden, there's this thing, and we don't know what it is. And I come home from Vertical Blue, and there's tests and everything, and nothing is conclusive. They think it can be an obstruction, it can be a grass seed. The scariest scenario is it's a nasal tumor. But they don't know, and the only way to find out is a scan. And if you want to scan a dog, you have to sedate the dog. And Beans does not like being sedated. Like, she's had one of those before in her life, and she was complaining about it for days. Like, it didn't make her feel good. So we thought, like, oof, let's try and avoid that for as long as we can. And then in September, I went to the World Championships in Cyprus. And just before that began, we got a call from a vet. She had a big bleed, and they weren't sure if they could stop it. And they told us, like, you might have to make the call now to put her down. And we couldn't. Like, we knew that there was probably something wrong with her, but we also knew that she had lots of life still. There was lots of love in her, and we wanted to give her a fighting chance. So luckily, my mother-in-law, who's taking care of her, who's an angel, said, I'm not putting a dog down for a nosebleed. And she took her to a different vet. And the vet managed to control the bleed and put her on medication to coagulate the blood a little bit more, so she wouldn't have those bleeds. And then they gave her the scan the next day. George and I almost hopped on a plane to go back home, but we wouldn't have made it until late at night the next day, by which point the scan had already been done. And so we decided to wait for the scan. And the scan showed that there was a large tumor in her nose. And the doctor said, we've got it under control now. The bleeding is under control. But even with this medication, in the next 6 to 8 weeks, she's going to have a bleed. And it's going to be her final one. Either she bleeds out, or she's going to choke on her own blood. But there's one clinic in England where they do very accurate radiotherapy. It's a new kind of treatment. It was about an hour's drive away from George's mom, and they have good results with this. So if you want to, we can book her in there. And so that's what we did. We booked her in there. The first treatment was just after World Championships. So I finished the job in Cyprus, and we went home, went to our dog, and 2 days later we went to the clinic for her first appointment there. And during that first appointment, they found another tumor. She had a mass on her anal sac. So she had a tumor in her nose and a tumor in her bum. Apparently, the two are not related. Like, even though like her nose was quite often in her bum, but two separate tumors. But this one also could be treated with radiotherapy. And the doctor said two separate things. This one, he suggested that we treat her nasal tumor first, week of treatment, take her home for a week so she has some time to recover from all the sedation, and then come back and a week of treatment on her bum. And prognosis was usually docs respond well to this kind of treatment, and usually they have another 12 to 18 months. Sometimes longer, sometimes less, but like on average 12 to 18 months. You have to do this horrible thing of like this calculation of can we afford this? It's an enormous amount. Like it was worth more than our car. But like then you think about it, like of course beans is worth more than a car, and if it gives us another year, of course, of course. I mean, it's financially scary, but yes, of course. So we did it, and she has her treatment. First week, everything is fine. She's strong. She doesn't like being sedated, but she sings many songs of her suffering. But it works, and then we take her home. We're home for a week, and after a week, bring her back. She has a second week. She's strong. She gets through it. It's all fine. And she seems to be coping all right. So George and I decide, okay, we've got another competition. Shall we go? Shall we not go? We delayed it for a week to help her with her treatment, but she's gotten through it all right. So, and it's a job, and I need as many jobs as I can get. So we go to Dominica and photograph that competition. And when we come back, she's healthy and she's happy. We have a whole winter together. We're playing, and she's herself. She's Beans. And then in February, we're on a beach. I see a drop of blood in her nose. My heart sinks, and we call the vet. But the vet said it's normal. Like it's radiation therapy has destroyed a lot of like bad tissue, but also some of the good tissues. And rhinitis is a very common side effect with this treatment. So, it doesn't mean the cancer has come back necessarily. It's a side effect. And I keep a diary because like every time she has a bleed, I make a note of it, and you kind of look how it's trending. And it doesn't seem to be trending very badly. It's not getting any worse. It's drips a bit of snot, often clear liquid, sometimes a bit of orange in there, sometimes maybe like a drop of blood, but nothing where the blood loss would worry you, and it's not like the previous bleeds where the blood loss was a worry. So in March I do a video, like a review of a new camera, and then in April I have a competition in Mexico together with George. And we look at our dog, and she's healthy and she's happy and she's waggly and she's completely herself. And nothing indicates that she won't be here with us for another year. At this point, she's 13 years old. She is an old dog, of course, and she's slowed down a bit. And she's completely white in the face, and she's got white paws, but she's energetic and happy and completely herself. Really good appetite, very food orientated, very people orientated, and she loves George's mom. So we think, okay, we go to Mexico. Have the competitions. Then we get a phone call. Beans has misstepped. She was backing up from like a field of cows, and she was scared, and she twisted her leg in a unfortunate way, and she's limping. So George's mom took her to the vet. The vet thinks that it's probably not broken, but she's bruised something, and it's going to be a couple of weeks. And we keep in touch with George's mom, of course, every day, and she sees Beans deteriorating, and Beans is not getting off the couch, and she's not her usual bright self. So after a couple of days, George's mom says, I think you need to come home. I think she's dwindling. So we have another few days in Mexico, but the main competition is over. So we change our tickets. Next day we're on a plane. We come home. We get to George's mom's place, and usually she's so happy to see me usually, and she bursts with songs and barks and energy. And now she's happy to see me, but like she's in pain, and she's no good. So we take her home. I have a friend come over. Our friend is a vet. She feels for her and feels her legs, and like does a thorough examination and says, I think there's something broken. I think you need an orthopedic surgeon, because like this won't heal itself, and she's in pain. But if you have surgery, like within a week, you'll see improvements, and within 2 months, she'll probably be good as old, and good as old, good as new. So we make an appointment with the orthopedic surgeon on Friday, May 1st, and we take her there. And the surgeon feels her up and says pretty much the same thing. Like, we need to do a scan on her to make sure that where the fracture is. It feels like a fracture, but like your dog is still strong, and like she can easily handle the scan. So, and by this point, like she's had so many scans she's been so many sedations that we know that she's okay. She doesn't like it, but she's gonna be fine. So I bring her up to the room where she's sedated. She's gonna be sedated, and I put her down, and we give her a kiss, and we go to a beach to walk our other dog, Charlie. We have to walk, and it's a beautiful day, and she would have loved that beach. When we get back to the car, George's phone rings, and it's the surgeon. Normally they would send the scan to experts to evaluate the scan, but the surgeon said I've seen the scan, and she's she's got multiple tumors in her spine, in her organs, in her bones. It's probably one of those tumors that caused the bone to break. And it's inoperable. There's no need to send this scan to the experts. There's nothing we can do for her. And the doctor says she could wake her up from the sedation, so so that we can say goodbye. But like, if we do that, then we have to bring her back within 24 hours because this dog is in pain, and she needs to be put down, or we can leave her in sedation. You guys come over, say goodbye to her, and we put her down now. And we put her down when you're here. So we're in our car, and we have to make that decision. And I don't think I'm ready. I know I'm not ready. I mean, I saw it coming. When I first saw Beans, I knew two things. I knew, one, you're my dog, and two, you're going to break my heart one day. Because I've had dogs before. You have to make that decision. You have to be there with, you're the most important thing in their life, and you have to be there with them. So I always promised Beans that I would, if I could, be there. But I always envisioned it that she'd be at home in her own basket, and that I'd, get to give her a treat, and that I'd, get to hold her and get to tell her things. And then she'd get her. But then I realized that that wish was for me, that it would be so unfair to wake her up to a world of pain and take her home to more pain just so that I could say goodbye to her my way. That was selfish. And she's in pain, and the right thing to do is to just let her sleep and let her go. So we go to the vet, and they tell us, like, they show us the results, and all I keep thinking is she still there? Where is she? I wanna see her. So they take us up to her, and she's in a different room, and she's got a tube in her mouth. She's breathing, but she's out, and her tongue is out a little bit, and like. So we pet her, and we talk to her a little, and I don't know if she can hear us or not, but we I soak her in. I just look at her. I, oh, um, you know those moments where you know this is the last time. When you realize the finality of it. So I soak her in. I hold her. And George holds her. And we let Charlie sniff her. And then the doctor gives her the final shot. And she goes. It's peaceful. She's not in pain. Um, and we drive back, and it's a beautiful day. It's May the 1st. The next day is beautiful as well. It's beautiful spring. There's flowers everywhere and life everywhere. There's a giant void in the house. I'm like, it's so quiet. And for the first few days, I can't even look at pictures of her. And then after a couple of days, all I can do is look at pictures of her and look at videos of her. And I don't know what to do. I've made a few videos for friends who passed. And I don't know if I can do it for my dog. And then I just feel so empty, you know. I feel exhausted. It's been a year of worries and a year of
Right.
stress and of like it's a fundamental worry, isn't it? Like it gets you to your core. Like it's in your house and it's in your core. It's in your body. It's everywhere. So and then mid-May, I get a message from a friend who, um, he's a colleague and a friend. He says, "I got the job for IDA for the World Championships in Cyprus. You know, did you get the job as well? Because like we both applied, and there's 4 spots available." And I didn't get any messages about that yet, so I asked somebody at IDA. I got a message back saying like, "Oh no, because we decided to do something else this year, and we figured like you're so busy all the time and like you're so uh, everywhere in the world anyway, so like you wouldn't mind and you wouldn't care. And so it's like the first time in 14 years that I don't even get a chance to be at an IDA World Championships. You know, I used to get asked for that, and then I. This might sound arrogant, but I used to think that that was my job. You know, that was me, my photographer at IDA World Championships and at Vertical Blue and at, you know, the major competitions. That was my job, and all of a sudden that dropped as well. And it's a different kind of pain. Like this was more my ego being hurt, but it was also like after the all the financial troubles of all the vet bills and everything. The IDA job it's not the best paying job in the world, but it's a good job, and I can afford to lose it, but it's, you know, it's it's a bit of a pain. It's a big pain. And then, you know, also the thing like apparently, do they really think that I don't care? Do they really think that I've been doing this for since 2012 because I care so little? Am I am I not communicating enough how much I love freediving and how much I love this job? So like that rocked my world a little in that way. It's like I don't know what to do. You know, I don't know how to convey any better how much I care for this. And maybe it's that thing. Maybe it's that thing of being removed from my videos. You know, maybe it's that thing of not doing confessional videos, and maybe I should make it more about me. Maybe that's the way to go. Maybe keep shooting what I'm shooting and keep shooting, like, keep filming my friends and do that, but then also tell the story behind it and around it. Because maybe by removing myself from the story, I if I remove myself from the story and I'm just behind the scenes and I'm just behind the lens, maybe it's less of a story. Maybe I start to disappear. Is that what's happening? Because that's what it feels like. It feels like I'm disappearing. It's a weird sensation. It's almost, I always used to think that the work speaks for itself. You know what I mean? Like the photography is there to speak for itself. It's about the work. It's not about me. But in making it not about me, it's almost like I'm actively erasing myself. And maybe that's not healthy. So maybe that needs to change. So this is an attempt to change that. Maybe in the future, I'll make different videos because I have to make videos and I have to make photography. It's not just a living for me. That's what I do. If I don't do that, I've disappeared before, you know? After I lost my dad, I just disappeared into this cloud of weed smoke, and it was so miserable. But at least my misery was not shared. You know what I mean? At least I didn't inflict my misery on the world. Now I'm beginning to think that this pain, I think most people have experienced it, right? We've all experienced loss. I've experienced losing my father. I went into a cloud of weed. Now I've experienced losing my dog. Obviously not the same, but it's loss nonetheless. And there's grief nonetheless, and there's pain. And this time, I'm not smoking it away, not trying to self-medicate. Different. So this is me trying not to disappear.
Jesus Christ. That was in my mouth, Beanie. It was kind of gross. Kind of gross. Kind of gross.